Very good morning, student. Today our topic is coordination in animal. Okay? Coordination in animals. Right? Now, here you know that in previous lecture we already studied the control and what do you mean by control and what do you mean by coordination. Now we are going to study about what exactly the coordination of control and coordination occurs in animal. So in simple multicellular animal, okay, now this coordination, okay. So in very simple multicellular animal, okay, the coordination takes place through only nervous system only. I'm talking about simple multicellular animal. In that simple multicellular animal, control and coordination takes place only and only through the nervous system. Okay, for example, I am giving you Hydra. Okay, example is Hydra. Here I will draw the structure of Hydra like that, so you will understand very well. Okay, this is the structure of Hydra. Okay, now in Hydra, you have to draw like that. Okay, at the corner of the square I draw a dot, like you can see like that only. So this is actually the nervous system occurs in Hydra. Okay, you can see this dot, black dot, okay, that called as nerve cell. Okay, and this is actually the structure of Hydra. Okay, so here in Hydra consists of, you can see this is a structure of Hydra, and this Hydra consists of network of nerve cells joined one another and spread throughout their body. Okay, that is actually the nervous system present in very simple multicellular animal. Understood or not? What I tell you, you can see the structure of Hydra, right? And you can see the network of nerves. You can see this black dot, okay, that is called as nerve cell. So here this Hydra consists of network of nerve cells, and you can see all the nerve cells are joined one another, and this network is spread throughout this body. So that type of control and coordinations occurs in simple multicellular animal. Okay, then what about in higher animals? Okay, the higher animals is generally called vertebrates. Okay, I mean those are vertebrate column, that including human being. human beings. Okay, so here in higher animal, especially called as vertebrates, and these vertebrates including human beings. Okay, here the control and coordination takes place through nervous system as well as hormonal system. As we know that in simple animal only nervous system is involved for control and coordinations, but whereas when we are talking about this higher animal, so in the higher animal, okay, nervous system as well as another one that is called as hormonal system. Okay, both the system, this hormonal system is also known as endocrine system. Okay, so this nervous system as well as hormonal, that is endocrine system, both are work together to control and coordination in higher animal. Okay, fine, that much you are getting. So you know that, as we know that there are 5 sense organs are there. How many sense organs in our body? 5 sense organs are there in our body, right? For example, eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. Okay, these are 5 sense organs are present in our body. Okay, so with the help of that we receive the variety of information from this environment around us through these sense organs. Okay, what is the need of sense organs? Okay, with the help of sense organ we receive whatever the variety of information from this environment around us, right? Then why the sense organs only receives the variety of information from this environment? Okay, now my question is that why only and only sense organs receive the information from the environment? Because sense organs contain receptors. This is very important. Okay, was what I told you just now. Why only and only sense organ receive this information from the environment around us? Because all the sense organs contain receptors. That's why they receive the information from the environment around us. Okay, then new terminologies is there. What do you mean by receptor? Okay, then we see what is receptor then. Okay, so receptor is nothing but a cell. You can say it is a cell, or in another word I can say it's a group of cell. Okay, so receptor is a cell or a group of cells in the sense organs. Where it's present in the sense organ, that already we discussed, right? Present in sense organ, which is sensitive to particular type of stimulus. Okay, such as light, sound, smell, heat, pressure, etc. That is called as receptor. Now you got it exactly, the definition of the receptor. So definition of receptor is like that: a cell or a group of cells in sense organ which is sensitive, okay, which is sensitive to a particular type of stimulus. Okay, or a type of stimulus means which is sensitive to a particular type of changes in an environment, okay, and that type of changes such as it may be a light, it may be a sound, right, it may be a smell, it may be a heat or pressure, etc. Okay, so that cells or group of cell is known as receptor. Okay, so मैंने क्या कहा, what do you mean by receptor? सेल और अ ग्रुप ऑफ सेल होता है, किसमें पाया जाता है वो, सेंस ऑर्गन्स में, एंड दिस इज सेंसिटिव टू पर्टिकुलर टाइप ऑफ स्टिमुलर फ्रॉम वेयर वी गेट द स्टिमुलर्स फ्रॉम दिस एनवायरमेंट. ओके, so whatever the changes occurs in an environment, that changes give us stimulus. Okay, it may be a light, ज्यादा लाइट स्ट्रॉन्ग हुई तो हम क्या कहते हैं, आईज क्लोज करते हैं, तो लाइट इज द स्टिमुलस. बहुत जोर से आवाज आ रही है साउंड सिस्टम का, तो हम अपने ईयर्स क्लोज कर दे, दैट इज स्टिमुलस. एंड व्हाट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्स, टू क्लोज आवर आईज विद अ हैंड. ओके, स्मेल, इफ वी गेट अ गुड स्मेल, दैट्स फ्रेगनेंस, wow, our response is different. And if we smell bad smells, okay, so our response is different. So that smell, sound, light, heat, pressure, all are this nothing but the changes occurs in the environment, and that stimulates a cell, and that and according to that we will respond it. So that cell present in the sense organs which sensitive that particular change, that cell is known as receptor. Okay, so the different sense organs contain different receptor for detecting the different stimulus. Let's see what they are. Okay, so just now I told you what the different sense organs are there. We have different sense organs, right? So different sense organs contain different receptor. Receptor for what? For detecting the stimulus. Detecting different stimuli. Understood? So what they are? Okay, first is eye is there, sense organs. Okay, the first sense organs is eye. Okay, second is ears, third one nose, fourth one tongue, and fifth one is skin. These are 5 different sense organs present in our body. Okay, so this eye, you can see this eye. Okay, now this eye, what is the speciality of this eye? This have a light receptor. Okay, I have light receptor. Okay, and that receptor, light receptor, where it's present? It present in eyes, right? And that receptor is known as photoreceptor. Understood or not? Okay, as I told you, there are 5 sense organs present in our body. First is eye, right? First is eye, right? So in eyes have a light receptor. Which type of receptors are present? Light receptors are present. Okay, and that light receptor is known as photoreceptor. Why? Because photo means light. Okay, and light receptor is known as photoreceptor. Okay, now second is that ears. Okay, so ears Okay, now that ears have sound receptor, ears have sound receptor. Okay, and that sound receptor, and what is the use of this what is the use of that photoreceptor? To detect light, whether it may be a bright or it may be a dim. According to that, changes occurs in eyes. Right? Now, ears. So in ears you have one receptor is present, that is called as sound receptor. And sound receptor, where it's present in ears. Okay, that receptor, sound receptor, is known as phonoreceptor. Okay, phono means ear. Okay, phone sound, right? So that why the receptor present in ear, that is called as phono means sound. Okay, that's the sound receptor is known as phonoreceptor. And what is the need of this phonoreceptor? To detect sound. Okay, so this is all about the second sense organ. So in second sense organ, that is ear, that contain a receptor, that is called as phonoreceptor. Then third organ, that is called as nose, sense organs. Okay, and that nosing. Okay, so this nose have smell receptor. Okay, in nose they have smell receptor. Okay, and the smell receptor is known as olfactory receptor. Okay, the smell receptor present in nose, that receptor is known as olfactory receptor. And what is this use of this receptor? To detect smell, whether it is good, whether it is bad. Okay, so these are three receptor. Next is tongue. Okay, fourth sense organs is tongue. So this tongue have tongue receptor. They have tongue receptor. Okay, and that tongue receptor present in tongue is known as gustatory receptor. Gustatory receptor. Okay, and what is the need of that gustatory? To detect the taste. To detect this taste. Okay, and this receptor present on tongue. Okay, with the help of that we can analyze, we can sense. Okay, जो हम फूड खाते हैं, okay, स्वीट है, सार है, बिटर है, या apart from that कौन सा टेस्ट है. Okay, we can taste this food with the help of gustatory receptor present on the tongue. Okay, so receptor which are present on tongue, that is called as gustatory receptor. And what is the role or principle? To detect the taste. Okay, now last is the receptor that present, that last sense organ is a skin. Okay, and on skin have receptor, and that receptors are present for detecting the touch. They are also help to detect the pressure, heat, cold, and pain, etc. Okay, so the receptor present on skin that are help to detect the touch, pressure, heat, cold, and pain, etc. That's why that receptor is known as thermoreceptor. Okay, that is called as thermoreceptor. receptor. Okay, so right now we are discussed with the receptor. So how many receptors are there? There are 5 receptors are there, and that 5 receptors are present at 5 different sense organs. And that what is the need or what is the principle for detecting the different stimuli? It means whatever the changes occurs in environment around us. Okay, so that 5 receptor first is called as phonoreceptor, photoreceptor. Photo means light. Okay, they detect the light and that present in eye. Okay, that is called as photoreceptor. Second receptor is called as phonoreceptor. Phono means sound, so they detect the sound. Third receptor is known as olfactory receptor. It's olfactory receptor present in nose, and it's help to detect the smell. Fourth receptor is known as gustatory receptor, which is present on tongue to detect the taste of the food. Okay, and last receptor is known as thermoreceptor. Okay, which is present in our skin to detect the touch, whether it is good touch or bad touch, whether it pressure, heat, cold and pain. All these are parameters are detected with the help of thermoreceptor. Right? Okay. Then stimulus. A stimulus is nothing but a kind of energy, right? Such as whether it may be a light energy, sound energy, smell, taste, heat, or any mechanical pressure. Okay, right? So the receptor contains, so as we know that the receptor is contain a group of cells which are sensitive to that energy provided by the stimulus. Therefore, this energy provided by the stimulus is set off this chemical reaction. Okay, set off means it start the chemical reaction, and which convert the energy of stimulus into the electrical signals, and that is called as electrical impulse. Okay, so right now I am telling you how the receptor is work, right? So as we know that how it works, that working right now I am telling you. So you know that a stimulus, okay, and what do you mean by stimulus? Whatever the changes occurs in the environment. So stimulus is nothing but a kind of energy. It's one of the kind of energy. Okay, and that energy is like, it may be a light energy, it may be a sound, it may be a smell, it may be a touch, hot, heat, pressure. Okay, I'm talking about the stimulus. So stimulus is a one of the kind of energy, such as it may be a light, sound, smell, etc. Okay, now what will happen? There is a receptor. Okay, we know the receptor. Okay, what is receptor? Nothing but the group of cell, right? Yes. So now these receptors which are sensitive, okay, which are sensitive to the energy provided by the stimulus. Okay, where the receptors are present on sense organs, and that receptors are sensitive to the energy, and that energy provided by what? Provided by stimulus. Okay, and that energy is set off a chemical reaction. Okay, set off means to start or begin. It means a start or begins a chemical reactions. Okay, and that chemical reaction which convert the energy of the stimulus, convert the energy of stimulus into electrical signal into an electrical signals, and that electrical signals is known as electrical impulse or nerve impulse or simple impulse. That is known as electrical impulse, okay, or simply nerve impulse, or it's simply called as impulse. Okay, so मैंने क्या कहा अभी, जो स्टिमुलस होता है, ओके, इट स्टिमुलस इज नथिंग बट वन ऑफ द काइंड ऑफ एनर्जी. ओके, अब स्टिमुलस कौन देता है? सेंस ऑर्गन देते हैं. और क्यों देते हैं? क्योंकि उनके ऊपर रिसेप्टर होता है. तो स्टिमुलस, इट मे बी अ लाइट स्टिमुलस, साउंड stimulus or smells stimulus, right? So the receptor which are present, the receptor we know is nothing but a group of cells, so which present on the sense organs, okay, to detect this energy provided by the stimulus. Okay, ये जो receptor होता है वो डिटेक्ट करता है, क्या करता है? स्टिमुलस. और स्टिमुलस क्या करता है? एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करता है, एंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस एनर्जी दैट रिसेप्टर्स डिटेक्ट द स्टिमुलस. ओके, एंड after detecting, what they are doing, they are start the chemical reactions. Okay, set off the chemical reactions. It's begin the rate of reactions. So just like that, I'm telling you here, the receptors, okay, here receptors, okay, where it's present? It's present in sense organ. Okay, it's travel to the sensory nerves, to the brain. I'm explaining slowly, yeah, just wait, don't panic. Cord, and with the help of, then it goes to effector. Okay, wait. So here it occurs with the help of motor nerves. Now I am telling you what is receptor, what is sensory nerves, what is effector, motor, that's everything. Okay, so it begins the chemical reactions, and that chemical reaction, what they are doing, that convert the energy of stimulus into an electrical energy. It means chemical energy get converted into this electrical signal, and that electrical signal is known as electrical impulse or nerves impulse or simply impulse. Okay, fine. So all the receptors in the sense organs receive the stimulus from the surrounding. Okay, and that send the message through the sensory nerves to the brain and spinal cord in the form of electrical impulse. So whatever the message is sent from receptor to brain and from brain to the effector in the form of electrical impulse. That's why before explaining in that, I explain what do you mean by electrical impulse. Okay, so as we know that all the receptors, okay, where the receptors are present on sense organs, right? So all the receptors in sense organ receive the what? It receives stimulus, right? The receptors present in sense organs receive the stimulus from the surrounding environment, and what they are doing, they send the message to the brain and spinal cord, but they with the help of sensory nerves. But in which form? In the form of electrical impulse. Okay, then what will happen? These motor nerves are there. These motor nerves transmit the response of this brain and spinal cord to this effector. Okay, again in this form of electrical impulse, and that effector is nothing but the muscles and glands. Okay, so this is all about the receptor. So next terminology we will see, that is called as effector first. What do you mean by effector? Okay, we study receptor. Now I will tell you what do you mean by effector. So effector is nothing but a part of your body, okay, which can respond to the stimulus. Okay, अब ये receptor क्या करता है? एक्सेप्ट करता है चेंजेस इन एनवायरमेंट, दैट्स कॉल्ड एज स्टिमुलेट. सो वो क्या एक्सेप्ट करता है? स्टिमुलस. ओके, और जो इफेक्ट क्या है वो रिस्पॉन्स देता है. इट्स शोज रिएक्शन अगेंस्ट द स्टिमुलस. सो हाउ कैन वी डिफाइन दिस इफेक्टर? इफेक्टर इज नथिंग बट द पार्ट ऑफ बॉडी, राइट, which can respond to a stimulus according to the instructions. Okay, according to the instructions sent from nervous system that is brain and spinal cord. Understood? So what do you mean by effector? So effector is a part of a body. Effector is a part of a body that can show the response to the stimulus. Okay, and that stimulus according to the instructions. Okay, whatever the response are forwarded against the stimulus according to the instructions sent from the nervous system. And as we know that nervous system is consists of brain and spinal cord. So whatever the instructions sent from the brain and spinal cord, okay, is the response, and that response shows by the part of a body, and that part of a body is nothing but the effector. So all our glands, okay, so all our glands are there present in our, so all our glands and muscles, okay, so all our glands and muscles respond to the electrical signals. Okay, electrical signals, or I say that electrical impulse. Okay, so here again I will tell you some muscles and glands which are response to this information from the brain and spinal cord through the motor nerves. Okay, अब जो ये इफेक्टर होता है, ओके, ये इफेक्टर क्या करता है? रिस्पॉन्ड द इंफॉर्मेशंस, ओके, एंड दैट इंफॉर्मेशंस they are sent from this brain and spinal cord. Okay, but how? Through the motor nerves, through the motor nerves. Understood or not? Right? Again I am explaining this portion and summarize this portion. Okay, so what is this effector? An effector is a part of a body which can respond to the stimulus, okay, according to the instructions, and that instruction sent from the nervous system. It means this is sent by brain and spinal cord, right? So the effectors are nothing but the muscles and glands which responds to the informations of brain and spinal cord through the motor nerves. And all our muscles, all our glands are response to the in the form of electrical impulse, right? So these are known as effector. Now we will see what do you mean by sensory nerves and what do you mean by motor nerves. Okay, so here sensory nerves first we will see. Okay, third part we will see, that is called as sensory nerves. Okay. So what is meant by sensory nerves? Sensory nerves are the nerves which carry the information from receptor to the brain. Okay, it carries the information from receptor to brain. Okay, and as we know that where the receptor is present, the receptor present on sense organs. Understood? Okay, so what do you mean by sensory nerves? Sensory nerves are the nerves which carry the information from the receptor of sense organs to the brain. What is carry? Nerves is for carry the information. Okay, so sensory nerves carry the information from the receptors of the sense organs to the brain and spinal cord. That is called as sensory nerves. Then we study what is meant by motor nerves. Okay, what do you mean by motor nerves? Again, motor nerves are these nerves which carry information. All the nerves carry this information. Okay, so this motor nerve also carry this information. Fine, but that carry this information from brain and spinal cord to effector. And what is effector? Effector is nothing but the muscles and glands. Okay, now you get it. It's very simple. We study 4 terminology. First one is receptor, second one is effector, then sensory nerves and motor nerves. So what do you mean by receptor? Receptor is nothing but a group of cells that receive the stimulus, okay, and pass message from brain and spinal cord through the sensory nerves. Okay, so here I will show you how it work. Okay, this portion you can see. Fine. So here you know that receptor. Okay, first this terminology we studied. First is receptor, second is effector, then sensory nerves and motor nerves. Okay, these 4 terminology we studied. Okay, again I will summarize this one. Okay, what is receptor? Receptor is nothing but the sense organs. Okay, our receptors are present on the sense organs which receive the stimulus from the sense organs and pass message to the brain and spinal cord through the sensory nerves. Right? Okay. The stimulus and the receptors are nothing but this photoreceptor, phonoreceptor, gustatory receptor, thermoreceptor. These are a type of receptor. Then we study effector. What do you mean by effector? Effectors are the muscles and glands. Alright, effector is nothing but the muscles and gland which responds to the brain and spinal cord through the motor nerves. Right? Now, what do you mean by sensory nerves? Sensory nerves are the nerves which carry the information from receptor to the brain and spinal cord. And what do you mean by motor nerves? Motor nerves are the nerves which carry the information from brain and spinal cord to this effector. But both are carry the information in the form of electrical impulse. Understood? Right? So that is actually the control and coordinations occurs in the animals. Right? Thank you.